Shalom to the hopeful elect. It's your fellow servant Shemaiah out of GMS Orlando, and I want to go into a lesson based on these videos I've seen from this. It's an apparent it's an apparent
Let me talk to my fellow.
it's an apparent AI depiction or an AI system called feminine game, and it's sad because this shit is retarded. As far as you see, they got this woman up here showing her her BRESTs and things like that. It's not blatant, but come on now, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, it's the words that should be taken into accountability. Before I continue, let us give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash, and double honor to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And we're just going to get into it. This is a matter of fact, before I start with this one, this is going to be the latter one. I want to start with this one right here. All right.
Let me put my...
Okay, it's the same AI bullshit, right? But to you women, because y'all like to hear what a woman says, this is an AI depiction of it, right? So they I don't know if a female put it together. I don't know who put it together. It got almost 2,000 views, right? Put out 8 hours ago. Almost at, matter of fact, bow. 144 thumbs up. 144 thumbs up. Okay, because I heard these and I'm like, damn, to you women, the time we're coming into, it's going to be drastic. All the lies, all the philosophies, all the bullshit you heard to rev your mind up as far as not needing a man, as far as not respecting a man, as far as getting your feelings and emotions, as far as being jealous. Isaiah 4:1 is going to pop off with or without you. Period, point blank. Isaiah 4:1 is going to pop off with or without you. All right. A point that I just heard from the brother Azaria, also from the GMS Orlando camp, is this. Let's get a precept. Isaiah 4:1. I'm going to read that off, then we're going to get into it. Isaiah 4. And it says, Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women, 7 meaning a complete number. It's not necessarily 7. It could be 7, 17, 7D. Any number of women is going to cleave to one man, the man of Yahawashi, the one that the Lord is making out, turning into pure gold. Right now, being tried through the furnace. Acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity. Second Ezra chapter 2. No, Salaki. It's Sirach chapter 2. Sirach chapter 2, I believe that's verse 5. Right? Acceptable men are tried in the furnace of adversity. Right? It say, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. And the beautiful point that Azaria was bringing out, and I believe he got it from one of the elders, right? One of the elders is that because who's that? The guy that's the head of IUIC, Nate, he said that it's going to happen in the kingdom. And that's what a lot of these women want. They want they want Isaiah 4:1 to happen in the kingdom. If that's the case, why do the women say, we're going to take care of all we got to take care of? Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. The point being made is that in the kingdom, you're not going to have any reproach. In the kingdom, you're going to have new bodies. If you're of the elected of the women of Israel, you're going to have new bodies, a new mind to obey the will of Yahawashi, which is to obey your husband, to be a peace, to be a pillar of rest unto your husband. It ain't going to be no reproach in the kingdom. So this is going to happen on this side. On this side, the time we're coming into. And it's so wild because there's so many women are already out there. Like I played this one clip for a demon that I know. Uh, I don't even know what to call it right now. But and she got so offended at this one woman talking about, y'all need to share y'all man. Y'all need to share your. It's the way she said it was kind of offensive. But women, y'all getting y'all feelings, y'all emotion, y'all getting that spirit of jealousy. And the Lord said it's a shame for a woman to have to be jealous of another woman. That's not our protocol, or that's not the characteristics or the customs of our nation. Your main, if any woman is jealous of anything, you should be jealous because the fact of you not being able to bring a man a child. If anything, that was the battle between Sarah and Hagar. That was the battle between the daughters of Laban to Jacob. One couldn't have a child and one had a child, and that was the fight because they wasn't able to produce a child. The Lord had blocked up their canal. He made them barren for a perfect reason. But anyway, to get back to the point, you need to get your mind right. You need to get your house in order because this is going to happen. In that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, "We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." And with that, I'm going to get this video. Fair use only, fair use only. I gave you a thumbs up, right? We hit it at the 144 mark. So this is just some to you women, of the hopeful elect, that you just coming into this thing. Take some notes. Take some notes.
Let me put my fellas up on game real quick. Fellas, welcome back to Feminine Game, where we talk about the things most people are too scared to say out loud. In today's episode, we're talking about why peace is more important than beauty. But before we get into this conversation, if you ever want to hear the talks I can't post here on YouTube, the link to my private room is in my bio and also pinned in the comments section. Now, let's get into it. Let me tell you something most men eventually learn the hard way. When men are young, a lot of them chase beauty first. They chase the woman with the perfect body, the pretty face, the one that everybody in the room notices. The one posting pictures all day, getting attention and comments. And in the beginning, that feels exciting. A man feels like he won something, like he got the prize. But what a lot of men don't realize in the beginning is that beauty and peace are two completely different things. A woman can be fine as hell and still bring nothing but chaos into a man's life. She can still argue every single day, still complain about everything, still stress a man out the moment he walks through the door. And a lot of men stay in those situations way longer than they should because they're stuck on how good she looks. But eventually, reality hits because looks don't make a home peaceful. Looks don't make a relationship strong. Looks don't make a man feel respected. And after dealing with enough drama, enough arguments, enough emotional roller coasters, a man finally starts realizing something. Peace is more valuable than beauty. Because when a man is out here working all day, dealing with pressure, bills, responsibilities, expectations, the last thing he wants is to come home and deal with more problems. No man wants to walk into his house and feel like he just walked into another damn battlefield. A man wants peace where he sleeps. He wants calm energy. He wants a woman that greets him with appreciation instead of attitude. A woman that understands that when a man is carrying responsibility, respect matters. And here's the part nobody likes to say out loud. A lot of men don't leave beautiful women because they found someone prettier. They leave because they finally got tired of the stress. They leave because the drama became exhausting. They leave because peace started looking more attractive than beauty. And once a man experiences what a peaceful woman feels like, everything changes. He sleeps better. He thinks clearer. He focuses better. He moves different in life. Because a peaceful home is one of the most powerful things a man can have. That's why a lot of men get older and their priorities completely shift. They stop chasing attention. They stop chasing the loudest woman in the room. They stop chasing the woman that always needs validation from the world. And they start choosing the woman that brings calm into their life. Because a peaceful woman doesn't drain a man. She multiplies him. She makes him stronger. She makes him sharper. She gives him the kind of environment where he can actually build something. And the woman that understands that will always have something more powerful than beauty. She has a man's respect. And when a man respects a woman, that's when the relationship becomes solid. That's when loyalty grows. That's when a man truly invests himself. Because peace isn't something a lot of men find in this world. And the woman that brings peace into a man's life becomes irreplaceable. Let me put my fellas up on game.
All right. With that, I'm gonna get a couple of precepts, and we're gonna start here. That she was going into about the beauty of a woman. The scriptures let us know. The scriptures warn us about being trapped into the beauty of a woman. Look, sloppy. Because it can be deceiving. Yeah. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. We'll open it up. Chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, "Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things which are precious in her." Are precious in her. All right, because nowadays, a lot of these women, especially nowadays, a lot of these younger women have been taught by their single parent mothers, aunties and grandmas, to get everything you can out of a man, as if that little piece between their legs is the end all be all. No, that's a part of the man's. That's a part of what a man that would work for a family, whether he's, no matter what kind of amount of money he makes or where he lives, if he's willing to put in the work to create a family, to create a home, have stability, create a house for the family, as is written, the man, the husband. Let me get it. Let me get him. Write this down. Then we're gonna get it. Sirach, chapter 9, 5. The husband established, right? No, it's not that. It's in Ecclesiastes. The house is established by the husband. Okay. Give me 1 second, because they shout the man. Establish the home. Why y'all messing with me? That's not what I want. It's lucky. Ecclesiasticus 20, 30, 36. Sorry, give me 1 second. The wife uprooted foundation. The water Yahawashi. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 9, it says, for the blessing of the father, that was not the husband, but the father. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooted up foundations. A precept to that is this. Yeah. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 1, it says, every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. Okay? And that's the precept. You know, that's the concept of a woman not being in the right spirit. A man, the order of the man, being the head of the household, right? As it was before, Esau Edom came in with this welfare system against our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. That's what it was, for our people to get right with the Lord, to get right in the order, in the sight of Yahawashi of a household. The man is the head, and it trickles down. What was I? The beauty of a woman. Yep. Sirach chapter 9, going back to verse 5. Again, it says, gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance. Look not round about thee in the streets of the city, neither wander thou in the solitary place thereof. Turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. All right? By the beauty of a woman, you get trapped into her way of living, her lifestyle. When she's supposed to be onto you, she's supposed to be a pillar of rest to you. She's supposed to be serving you. And, as a man, at my age, man, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I made a lot of decisions that go against this actual perfect will of Yahawashi. The only thing that's been keeping me thriving is doing my best to focus through the spirit and power of Yahawashi on Yahawashi and doing the work. Other than that, man, it's easy to be distracted, to be detoured. The thing of love, the bullshit that we were brought up on with Christianity and the woman, is all this shit. All this shit, man. Don't fall for it, bro. You can't continue to fall for it, man. If they don't fucking get it, they don't get it. If they don't, let me get this piece up. Paul said it. That's the time we're living in. If a woman don't understand the time that we are in, because of their pride, because they feel like, you owe them as a man, they still stuck in the world, man. Hey, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. It's good for you not to even touch a woman. Let her desire you. That was that was the purpose from the beginning. That was the order from the beginning, because the Lord established with Adam from the beginning, since you went out of line, it's now your woman's duty to desire you. From the beginning, we fucked up being in that Adam mindset of happy wife, happy life. Do for your woman, listen to your woman. No, the Lord had corrected that from the beginning. That we're gonna be so busy, working, that we ain't got no time to worry about what our women want. From dusk to dawn. That was a curse put on Adam because of the decision he made, listen to his wife. And Eve was supposed to desire her husband. All right? That was the order. That was the way of not necessarily correcting everything, but setting things straight. All right? So we, because Yahawashi, right? Yahawashi, because Yahawashi, the first Adam had messed up, but the second Adam, right, who's Yahawashi, he didn't, when he came on earth, he didn't even deal with a woman. He didn't deal with a woman. Again, going back to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1, now concerning the things thereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and every woman have her own husband. Okay? Concerning Isaiah 4 and 1, it's going to be a number of women that's going to try to come at you men. You're going to have to discern who's really real and who's not. Who's really going to be that peace. Because the same way that us as men, we're fighting for the place of being of the being the bridegroom, right? We're fighting for the place of being of the 5 wise virgins. The Lord has set up men. These 7 women that's gonna come. This perfect number of women that's gonna come to the men. The Lord is setting up in the men's hearts, in their minds, how to decipher the same way that Yahawashi is moving. So as the men of the Lord, we gotta stay plugged into Yahawashi. He's gonna make the decision. Of course, when all hell breaks loose, it's gonna be a lot of women that's gonna be coming. That's gonna be questioning. That's gonna be asking. That's gonna be hitting you up. And when the Spirit of the Lord put it on you, you're gonna make a decision. And it's not gonna be based on emotions or feelings. It's gonna be based on the Spirit, right? A spiritual man judges all things, and the Lord is raising up judges. Like the brother was going into tonight, he that was in Isaiah. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I remember. Where did he go to? He went to Isaiah chapter 1, I believe. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 26. The brother Azariah. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 26. Yeah. It says, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Right. The Lord is raising up judges. He goes to learn how to discern a matter. The greatest, from the greatest to the smallest matter. To be a perfect judge of character. Spiritually. And all that, shit. And we look at it like, we've been brought up in Christianity. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Love, love, love. At the end of the day, the Lord ain't about all that forgive, 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 love, love, love shit. Yes, he's long suffering, but he has judgment, and he's gonna put that spirit on his men to make the right decisions. If you're cleaving on to Yahweh as a man, you're gonna make the right decision. A lot of you women are gonna be cut the fuck off. It's period, point blank. Micah. Micah. chapter 7, starting at verse 9. Micah chapter 7, verse 9. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, Yahweh, Bashim Yahawashi, because I have sinned against him. And that's the same instance, the same mentality a lot of you women should have. Not necessarily because you sinned against us, which a lot of y'all have, right? Being disobedient. But at the same time, because you sinned against Yahawashi. You sinned against the Lord. Esau Edom made it easy for you to buck up against the order of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi. Now it's time for you to come back into a reproach. That's why seven women gonna be cleaving to one man for their reproach, that they be called by his name. The true men, the pillars of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi of the world to come. The men of Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi that's sacrificing through Yahawashi. It's not our own sacrifice. The Lord is doing this. So in a sense, whatever actions and things that we're taking on as sacrifice, it's Yahawashi doing it. Yahawashi is witnessing our sacrifices. Yahawashi is being hurt again. Hurt all over again. But he said he personally not going to get on the cross again for the sins of Israel. He already done it, and one time is good enough. But he's sitting up here witnessing the pain that his men going through. And his women. If you're of the righteous elect women, he see your pain. He see the children. He see your pain. While everybody else is taking advantage of the situation, taking advantage of you and think they're going to get away with it. No, the Lord said he got vengeance for his elect. Verse 9 again, I will bear the indignation of the Lord because I have sinned against him. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I will behold his righteousness. That's being beamed up in them chariots, man. It start with learning this truth, knowing who we are, or knowing who he is, knowing their names, the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son's name, and coming back, returning back to him with a contrite and a humble spirit, and knowing who we are, and through the Spirit bear witness that we are the children of the Most High, and putting all our trust in him no matter what. Like Job said, good or bad, whatever the Lord give us, his chastisement is light, and it's to make us better servants, to him. Well, this is the point. In verse 10, it says, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? See, now that shame, what's that shame? That's rebuke. That's being reproved. As we read in Isaiah 4:1. We're going to take care of everything. Just let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. Take away our reproach. You're a man of Yahweh Shemashah. The order is being established. The kingdom is rising up. Kwam Yasharallah. It says, yet she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is the Lord thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire in the streets. And that's going to be those women that get rejected. Those women that's been playing. Those women that's been that has not been diligent. The women that has not been seeking the Lord. The women that have been stuck with the concerns of this world. The women that become a friend of this world. Like the Lord said, the friend of this world is the enemy of him. If you're a friend of this world and you know the difference between this world and the world to come, you know what the things that the Lord don't like in this world, and you become a friend of that, you become an enemy of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Period. So the Lord told us not to even touch a woman. I don't got one more precept. I probably could pull up a precept, but I want to pull up this other video. Because there's men at a certain age, at a ripe age, at certain ages where we we feel like it's all over with for us. She has some more insight for you, man. All right. You might be up in age, 30, 40, maybe even 50. But, this advice, like I said earlier, this woman,
Let me talk to my fellas real quick.
First and foremost, she's an AI, generated. I wish I could cover the shit, but that's their way of getting people's attention. You already know. But if you just if you can overlook it, right? But and this guy in the comments, this sister has a lot of wisdom. This is AI, dumbass. This is not a sister. This is AI. If you didn't notice by now. But anyway, I'm gonna give you a thumbs up as well because as they say in the world, a man's glory or a man doesn't really sustain himself till he get to an older, ripe, a more ripe age. And it's scriptures in the Bible that go into that as well. A lot of men, in their younger age, they were working out. Working out their if they weren't given, a an established heritage from their father, and things of that nature. They had to work out their situation. I mean not Job, Salaki, but Jacob, Israel. He was one of the ones. He worked 14 years for Laban. The brother of his mother. He worked 14 years. To gain his two wives and their maidens, right? Yeah, so he got four wives out of 14 years of dealing with, and some of us go 10 years. Some of us go 10 years of dealing with one woman, necessarily, to a certain extent, or whatever, depending on the bullshit that happens, right? But he walked away with those women to have, to bring forth the 12 tribes of Israel, and they all had an understanding. They weren't jealous of each other. All right, they were probably, like I said, going back to what I said at the beginning of this lesson, they were probably jealous because they were barren. They couldn't produce seed. They couldn't produce a child for Jacob until the appointed time. But okay, this is going into a lot of men that's out there, especially you men that's in the truth. Don't give up. Don't give up your hope. If the Lord separates you from a woman, it's for your best interest. It's for you to come back to Him, to cleave to Him, because you're wasting your time with a lot of these women. You got to learn how to discern who to deal with and who not to deal with. And if they're not working on the schedule of Yahawashi according to what you need them to do, if the Lord's going to take them away, and you can't hark on it too much. You can't bitch, moan, and cry. What's that precept with Ezekiel? I believe it was Ezekiel. Ezekiel, not to cry for the death of his wife. Ezekiel chapter 24, verse 18, and it states, matter of fact, let me open it up. Ezekiel 24, and I'm sorry, verse 16, it says, Son of man, behold, I take away from thee the desire of thine eyes with a stroke. Yet, neither shalt thou mourn nor weep. Talk about his wife. He gave her a stroke. Neither shall thy tears run down. Forbear to cry, meaning don't cry. Make no mourning for the dead. Bind the tire of thine head upon thee, and put on thy shoes upon thy feet, and cover not thy lips, and eat not the bread of men. So I spake unto the people in the morning, and at evening my wife died, and I did in the morning as I was commanded. And the people said unto me, Wilt thou not tell us what these things are to us, that thou doest so? Then I answered them, The word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Speak not unto the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will profane my sanctuary, the excellency of your strength, the desire of your eyes, and that which your soul pitieth, and your sons and your daughters whom ye have left shall fall by the sword. And that's what we're telling the 2/3 of our people right now. And nobody else going to get in between it. We're not weeping or crying for nobody. Lord said, don't even pray for these people. Don't lift up a cry. Don't lift up a prayer. Don't lift up a cry, because I will not hear you. What he told Jeremiah. The Lord will not change. We're in specific times where it's going to be 10 times harder than what you thought or what you ever imagined in life. And if you're not right with the Lord, if you're not seeking him 10 times more, if you're not putting off from this world, if you're not putting on as the elect, then you number yourself amongst the congregation of the dead, following your own lust. Pursuing the James chapter 1, I believe it was 15. I believe it was 14 or 15. And the brothers corrected me last week on that one. It was something else I wanted to get. Salakia. Anyway, if it come back to me, I'll get it. But let's just go into this.
Let me talk to my fellas real quick. Fellas, I'm about to say something a lot of men need to hear, but almost nobody tells them. Somewhere around 40 years old, a lot of men quietly start believing life is over. They see a little gray in their beard, their body don't bounce back the same, a relationship drained them, a divorce hit them, money ain't where they thought it would be. And now they walking around like the game already finished, like the scoreboard already locked in. But let me tell you something real, baby. That mindset right there is bullshit. If you 40 years old right now and God lets you live to 70, do you understand you still got 30 damn years left? 30. That ain't a little bit of time. That's enough time to completely rebuild your life. That's enough time to buy property, fix your credit, start a business, find peace, get your health together. Hell, that's enough time to become the man you were supposed to be the whole damn time. But some of y'all sitting around acting like life ended because one woman stressed you out for 10 years. 10. You letting 10 bad years convince you the next 30 ain't worth living? Man, cut the shit. And let me tell you something deeper most men don't realize. Half the time, the reason men feel stuck ain't even money. It's the environment. A toxic relationship. A woman constantly complaining. A house full of negativity. Somebody reminding you every day what you ain't. You too old. You should have done that already. You missed your chance. You ain't where you supposed to be. That kind of energy will slowly kill a man's spirit. It'll make a strong man start doubting himself. It'll make him sit still when he should be building. And the sad part is, a lot of men been carrying that weight for years without realizing it. Because when you wake up every day in a house full of stress, criticism, and drama, it drains your ambition. It drains your vision. It drains your damn confidence. And sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. Sometimes the problem ain't you. Sometimes it's the woman sitting next to you. A miserable woman can drain the ambition out of a man faster than poverty ever could. She'll have you believing your best years are behind you, when really your best years are just starting. Do you know how many men become successful in their 40s? Do you know how many men buy their first house in their 50s? Do you know how many men finally find peace after leaving a relationship that was slowly suffocating their spirit? A whole damn lot. Because once a man gets his peace back, everything else starts to line up. His mind clears up. His energy comes back. His discipline wakes back up. And suddenly, the same man who felt stuck at 42 starts building a completely different life by 50. But that only happens if you make a decision. And the decision is simple. You either sit there telling yourself it's too late, or you stand up and say, I'm getting the fuck up and starting over. Listen carefully to me. Gray hair ain't the end of your life. It's proof you survived some shit. It's experience. It's wisdom. And if your mind's still sharp, your health still decent, and you woke up breathing this morning, you still got time to rebuild everything. Everything. But the first thing you gotta rebuild is your damn mindset. Because the biggest lie men believe after 40 is this: that it's too late. No, baby, it ain't too late. You just been surrounded by people who wanted you to stay small. But the moment you wake up, the moment you get your peace back, the moment you start believing in your damn self again, that's the moment your life starts moving forward. And trust me, some of the most dangerous men in this world are the ones who finally wake up at 40.
All right. Now, I just want to bring that out. Like I said, this Lord willing is edifying pieces to certain men out there, the men of the Lord. No matter your age, whether you're 12, 12, 22, 32, 42, 52. Keep striving in Yahawashi. Because she mentioned a lot of things as far as like getting a house and things of that nature. Yeah, those things are possible and those things are accomplishable. But your main focus is seeking the kingdom first. Seek ye the kingdom first, and all these things shall be added on to you. That's our main goal, our main focus. All right, I want to get this in Joshua. Let's get this in Joshua. Because the success of this world is going to leave you with a bag full of holes. No pun intended, right? But a bag full of holes. Joshua, there we go. Chapter 1. We'll jump down to verse 8. Matter of fact, I want to start here at verse 5. It says, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life, as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. All right. This is the Lord, preparing Joshua, which goes into Savior. He was preparing him for the taking or for entering into the land of milk and honey, and the land that was promised to our forefather, Abraham. This is before that time. He was getting him prepared, getting his mind ready for the shift, for the character that he would have to have. The same thing for us in these days and time, right? You will elect men. You hope for elect men. Adam says I would be a part of that number. Hey man, shake the boots, shake the dust off your boots, man. Shake the lies, the deceit, the bullshit that we've been taught that we're not good enough, man. It's not about us. It's about the spirit that Yahawashi has given it to us. That portion of faith. It's about Yahawashi. It's not about us. Yes, we're as worms. We're in this world. We're nothing. Yahawashi said in Revelation 2:9. I know your tribulation, but ye are rich. Roughly paraphrasing. He know what we've been through, man. Verse 6, he said, be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Verse 7, only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou may observe to do according to the law, to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. And here's the point in verse 8. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night. So what that mean? We're rehearsing the righteous acts. We've been given the program from the beginning. We have the understanding that Yahawashi is the cornerstone. The salvation of this, the salvation of the forgiveness for the elected Israel is not based on our doing, but of Yahawashi. But we have a purpose to fulfill as well. And one thing is to meditate therein day and night, that thou may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then shalt thou have good success. All right, we're meditating day and night. We understand when we go off to go to Yahawashi. for their repentance with a sincere and a contrite spirit, because a sincere and contrite heart, to acknowledge our sins before Yahawashi. To let him know, hey, damn, I fucked up in this, or I not necessarily I messed up in this, but forgive me. Repentance with a sincere and contrite spirit, and not to do it anymore. Do your best to not do it anymore. All right. And hey, we're all of our righteousness is as filthy rags, because at the end of the day, it doesn't boil down to what we do. Our works, our works is not what's going to save us. All right, but this is how we get success, by returning back to Yahweh Bashim Yahawashi through His only begotten Son Yahawashi. And staying focused. Staying focused at the end of the day, keeping our minds single. And, just beware of these women, man, and anybody else, that's not a part of this, it's not a part of the truth. That's what this time is for. The devil going to go out sifting to the best of his ability to see who's really, like Job, to see who's really, understanding of the Lord's will, or who's going to get caught up in their feelings and emotions. Who's really going to lose faith. That's the time that we're coming into. Who's going to keep the faith, the gift, the crown that Yahweh Shah has given them, and who's going to give up that crown? Who's going to forget? Who's going to lose faith? And the devil know from the beginning of time, the best way to try a man, especially the man of the Lord, is through a woman that he fuck with. Anyway, Lord willing, this lesson is edified unto the hopeful elect. I pray you edified. Again, let's give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashim Yahawashi, Bashim Rachakodash, and double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Endure, Yahweh, Yahawashi, Batazar, endure. Till next time, call me Sarala. Wa Abba, Baba.